Let me see now here. Messages on our Chatechesis as well. And no, I was going to check that one out there. Yes, okay. I'm gonna hesitate just a little because there was a message here, and I didn't want to go into too much detail there. But I'll share it with you again. Yes, I'm just mindful. Actually, I think the gist of it there, and I might just make a little reference to it if I may, that for some at this time we're just to be a little extra mindful as we are, and we pray for and seek to accompany those who find Christmas a little bit difficult or burdensome, or just a dark time of year. Thank God for just the bright weather these few days now as well. I know it's very cold, but it does mean we have a little bit of extra daylight, because when it's sort of cloudy and dark and rainy, it just seems to get dark so early. And this is the darkest week of the year, between this and next week. And I always like reaching that point at the 21st of December, knowing that, okay, we won't see a sudden increase in daylight, but it means that the darkest time is passing, and we're heading our way then back gradually towards spring. And we'll begin to see at this time, and later in the months, just some of the buds coming up out of the ground, where we have crocuses and snowdrops and daffodils too. And that always gives me I get great consolation, great hope from that, the new life springing up out of the ground. And that's just under the surface, waiting to burst forth. And just maybe nice to keep that idea in mind for those indeed who experience the loneliness and the isolation sometimes, and the grief that accompanies the Christmas journey. I suppose because it's such a time as it is, Christ coming into the world, in a time of gathering, a time of family, and it can be a source of intense suffering for some. So maybe to keep that in mind, and to bear in mind the needs of others, as we do, and so many do, something so good and so generous and so thoughtful at Christmas time. It is a very beautiful thing. So again, our hearts and our prayers accompany those who are isolated or alone, and again who find this time difficult, and that we are with you, I hope, and that Radio Maria is a new and I hope a joy-filled and faith-filled presence with you and for you in the time that we're coming through. And I hope that indeed we can be a kind of a new family, if you like, and a new way of journeying with people who are otherwise isolated. I include that in my prayer at Mass this morning, just thinking of those in prison, of course, who are separated from family and loved ones, those in nursing homes, those in hospital, and there are others that then perhaps living alone or isolated or separated, and maybe not through any fault or any just circumstances have meant a kind of distancing from family or friends. So please allow us to be that family and those friends to you just through the voice of the radio. And keep in mind that we are just a radio station. There is a limit, I suppose, to our reach, but at least something different, and something, a little voice of encouragement, I hope, and of hope itself, and of faith to be with you. That's what my prayer for Radio Maria and for you, that we're there, and your friends along that journey, and that you can kind of, by listening in and hearing all the activity and things going on, can kind of relate to the story that's unfolding, and the beauty of the growth and the vitality and the friendship that's unfolding as we grow, like the springtime bulbs and little shoots of growth. We see this here in Radio Maria. So please God, we're looking to the new year already, and Liz White is a lady now who has signed up for us, and please God will be our new promoter into the new year. And I was just chatting with someone else as well. We're looking, not quite yet in place, but a little extra help in terms of promotion as well. We've been a little bit bereft since Clodagh unfortunately took her leave of us. I met Clodagh last night. She was at the Christmas party. Clodagh Gallagher, lovely to meet her again. Lovely young lady. And she's gone to her studies and that. But again, her work with us as promoter didn't come to fruition the way we had hoped. And these things are sometimes to the best or to the good, the way they unfold. told. Sarah, of course, was at the party last night too, and just flitting around and full of the joys of it. Of course, she's her wedding to Mario will take place on the 28th of December in Medjugorje, and for those who are unable to travel, she'll have another celebration back here in Ireland in January, a Holy Mass and a gathering for our friends here at home. That should be very special. Very much looking forward to that moment with her and for her, and praying every grace and blessing on them, as indeed on Joe and Aisling too, as they have entered into their married life together with all its challenges and all its joys too. It's lovely to see. We are seeing a nice community just gradually forming and building, and we're again seeing the throughput of many people of great faith and great conviction. And last night kind of brought it home to me, really. And we wish you could all be there. Of course, it's simply not possible. The weather did prevent a number of people travelling too. But the idea has already been proposed that we might have a Christmas party in each of the 4 provinces the next time around. Now, how that will come to pass or how that will come to be, I have no idea. And how we split ourselves and do all of that, again, I have no idea. But there's great creativity in the building here, and great ideas and great thoughts by way of growth and movement forward. So we're already seeing 1 or 2 little green shoots, as I say, here, and very much looking forward to the work that awaits us into the new year, given the great blessings that have been flowing, given the great evident fruitfulness of our labours, and that's very much thanks to you. So we are very, very grateful, and please be assured indeed of prayer, our prayers and accompaniment with you. And that new little segment here of our Chatechesis this morning, again, it's a little pilot scheme, a little trial balloon, a little way of just diving a little bit deeper and more specifically into the faith life of the church, and that will become a useful resource, we hope, kind of like all the podcasts too, a library of content that you can draw upon and listen into in your own time. We know many people just can't tune in live. That's just not realistic or possible, and that they love to listen back to the podcast, even some of you to this show too, and thank you for that. So again, do please be assured of our support, and please do continue to be part of the life. Make it your own. Be a part of Radio Maria yourself, as many of you indeed already are, and help us to keep growing and continuing this mission of Christ at his ascension, to go out to the whole world and proclaim the good news, to baptize and to draw souls into life in him. Now that concludes our Chatechesis for today. Thank you so much for your company, taking our leave of you on the camera now and preparing